now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Ninja Kamui. Yeah, so fun fact, I didn't know this, but apparently the creator of that show used to work at MAPPA, and then he left and created his own animation studio, and the first show that they made was this, Ninja Kamui. Also, I think the director of this show directed Legend of Korra. So,
okay.
yeah,
I've seen elements.
yeah, exactly. So we're seeing pretty much like a love child of somebody from MAPPA and also some of the people from Korra. I remember, I think I was just scrolling through Instagram and I just seen like one of the ads that popped up, and I watched and I was like, holy shit, this is kind of crazy. I remember sending it to you and you said you heard about it. I didn't know what to expect. I just saw what it looked like. Obviously it looks cool. But I think what really drew me into it was the fact that it was on Adult Swim. Like, cause usually, you know, anime is just released or like on Crunchyroll or something like that. But the fact that they're putting it on television is kind of like, I mean, they must have some type of faith in it, like to be a really great show. You know what I'm saying? So, even though Sundays at like 11, whenever the fuck it comes out, is really strange to me, but that's fine. But yeah, the first 2 episodes released. What do you think about the first 2 episodes, man?
Yo, that opening scene. I don't know the ninja that they were hunting down. That nigga was banging for real, and it was funny because in the beginning he was acting like a pussy because he was sweating and he was scared, and he was still fucking up niggas. So I was like, okay, like, damn, this is about to be crazy because this guy looked like he can't fight for real, and he was fighting for real, bro. Like really fighting for real. It took a lot for them to kill him.
So hold on, before you say that, 2 things I noticed from that first beginning fight. One, it showed me that pretty much anybody in that whatever, I don't know the ninja clan name, but it pretty much shows that like everybody that was in that ninja clan can fight. Like, you feel me? They all can bang. That's it. And 2, I remember him saying, "How did you know it was me?" Because later on in the episode, you find out that the people who are running from them are using some type of like facial recognition, like mask thing that changes their face. And I thought that was interesting because I went back and watched the first episode again, and just seeing those things pop up so early, it just kind of like it explains a lot from that's gonna happen in the series, which is kind of fire. I didn't really notice that the first time watching it, but
Yeah, I was very confused. Like, I was like, why is this white dude? Not to say white dudes can't be ninjas, but I was like, why is this white guy like so like hip to like ninjutsu and everything? Because in the second episode, it does explain that foreigners are allowed into the organization now, but in the first episode, it didn't mention that, so I was kind of confused. And then basically you find out that this dude is really just some Japanese dude disguising as American. So it's crazy. And I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but I don't really feel like they're saying names like that. Like,
they said his name in the second episode. It's like Hagami.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, this is. I feel like they're so. It's like it's strange. It's like there's so much layers in each episode but it's so short. So it's like you really have to watch them again. Like, it's one of those things, because it's like when, like, for example, when he pulls the pin out of his arm before his family dies, I was just like, what the fuck is he pulling out of his? I just thought like maybe like they threw a pin at him or something, but like it was. If you watch the full episode and then you watch the second episode, it explains like he's doing some deadly he was about to do that deadly technique, but they caught him slipping and shit. And then also, when he got stabbed, they said they didn't hit any arteries, and they were saying like maybe somebody's trying to keep you alive. So I think maybe one of the ninjas might have like helped him in that situation, because he definitely should have died. But I don't know. But I think it's cool that throughout the whole entire first episode, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think even up, like, it was like up to the end of the first episode where you're like, oh, okay, I now I understand what's going. Obviously, you don't fully understand what's going on, but you're getting glimpses of what's actually happening in, like, for the plot of the series, which is actually pretty fire for a show that's only like 20 minutes long.
And you know, it's kind of funny when you were talking about it being kind of created by ex-Mappa worker and then Avatar. You know how in Avatar, I don't know how to really explain the movement. You know how like when a character is like about to move really quick, it pans like slow real quick and then it moves fast again?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that, which gave me like Avatar-like vibes from it, and then the fighting flow. That's crazy. Like the fighting flow is crazy, and I wasn't expecting to see like as much ninjutsu in the second episode as it did. I was like, damn, this dude's doing some different shit.
That nigga hit that. He hit that shit. That shit was crazy. I wasn't expecting that shit at all. Like, yeah.
And forearms real quick. Like,
yeah, that shit was fire. Fire. I think it's funny just because, speaking of like shows like JJK and shit, I think like we were having a conversation about it. I was like, action just for action's sake. Like, yeah, it looks cool, but I think what really draws me into it just kind of trying to figure out more about the main character. Like, I think it was very smart for them to kill the family, because obviously killing the family off rip makes you feel bad for the main character, you know what I'm saying? And off rip, it makes you want to be like, all right, I want this guy to win, you know what I'm saying? So even though we don't know what he did, he could be a terrible person, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a good reflection of like John Wick. Like, John Wick was like a terrible person, you know what I'm saying? Obviously before he had his family or whatever, and then after that, it's good that they didn't show any of that at first, but then they showed, like in John Wick in the first movie, they just showed him like be living a normal life, and then something happens to him, and then he gets back into the business, and it was pretty much the same with this show. Like, you just see him living his life, and then you see little weird things of like him and his family going to the market, and him like wiping down like his fingerprints, and like just little things of that nature where you're just like, all right, clearly something's off, like, so clearly something's wrong. But then like, yeah, and then you find out like pretty much he's in exile. Like, anybody who, I don't know what he did, but he broke some type of rule, and now they're after him, which is it's crazy.
It was kind of weird too. They have a good way of like showing his emotions even when he's acting different towards his son. Like when he saw the son have the Oni mask,
you can tell he was like, yeah, you can tell he was on time.
Pissed off about it. Like, he was kind of pissed off about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he did a good job at covering it at the same time. It was weird. It was very weird. And then the whole wiping down, I was like, damn, it's that serious? You gotta wipe your fingerprints? Like, who's gonna find that shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if there's another, because there's another layer on top of it where it's like, how did they find him? Like, how did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, clearly somebody must have said something, like, because especially the way he was like he was living like secluded on a farm, and like with a face mask, like with a completely different face, different name. Like, how did they find him? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking about that. I feel like it has to do something with the mask technology, because it's their technology, right? It's something that they had.
Probably, yeah. Something.
I was thinking maybe someone created like some type of device to detect like that type of technology or something. That's the only thing I had in my mind. Like, that's the only way I could think of it.
Yeah, I think it's something that they were consistently not forcing it on us, but like they kept on mentioning and like panning the camera to it was that fake Facebook guy, like the it was like Akira Technologies, and blah, blah, blah. Like they keep on focusing on that, so I'm assuming there's some type of ties between that company and the Ninja Clan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think like it's what I mean when yes, the action is great, but I'm super invested into the story. I'm super invested into finding out what's going on, and I feel like the fact, like, I remember we were having a conversation about how, like, damn, we have to wait weekly for this show, but it's like the fact that we have to wait weekly is like it makes me want to continue watching it, like versus like if they dropped all I think it's like 12 episodes. If they dropped all 12 episodes, we would have known everything. We would have been able to talk about it, and then we would have probably forgot about it in a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they're doing this weekly and they're dropping little Easter eggs here and there, and the fact that it's so short that it's like, oh shit, like it's giving you just enough to make you want to come back and watch more. You know what I'm saying? And also, bro, the first episode had 3 of the craziest fights I've ever seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just like, that's what I want in anime. I want great fights. I want interesting stories. I want interesting characters. Like, I'm actually, and like I said, I'm invested in his story. I want to see where it goes. Like, honestly, with all the shit that he's facing, yes, he seems like he's nice, but it also seems like there's niggas that are way better than him to a degree. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga in the second episode, that nigga was crazy. Like, that nigga just that nigga split into 2. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Even though he did beat him, yeah, but it was just like, all right, so clearly, what I'm saying, clearly, like there's more to it than what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying?
It felt like his life was still at risk, even though he was banged. Like, it felt like if he made one mistake, he would have died.
And the fact that they were all waiting for him outside, like, you know what I'm saying? They were all waiting for him outside, so it's like, yeah, exactly. That's the exact point. I think the angle of the cops is interesting as well, because we're getting to see an outside perspective of what's going on, because he doesn't speak as often, you know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna sit there and explain everything that's going on, but with the cops' perspective, we get to just see, and we get to see them dissect and figure everything out, which is cool to watch, because I also want to find out what the fuck is going on. Like, that nigga in the first episode with the dreads, I thought he was gonna be like a final boss. That nigga banged him up. he banged him up quick, and then in the second episode, he was fucking yo, that torture scene was crazy. Like,
crazy. It's like it's too crazy to the point where I didn't even feel like he should have been alive. Like,
he definitely should have died, bro. He was getting stabbed for days, like for days, bro. But at the same time, exactly. But at the same time, it shows you that they are not regular people. Like, you feel me? That Ninja Clan is not full of regular niggas. So yeah, I'm super excited to see where this show goes. It's giving me the Invincible vibes, just because with the first episode alone, you're filled with so many questions. You're like, what the fuck is happening? Like where is this heading to? You know what I'm saying? And I haven't watched the show weekly in years, it feels like. So it's giving me like a fresh take on things, like other than like The Boys and Invincible and things of that nature that come out actually weekly. I'm actually excited for like to watch the next episode. You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually glad that you said that, right? Because I was thinking in my head, I was gonna bring it up that like when I was watching, I don't know if it's because I'm watching it dub. It didn't feel like I was watching an anime show, like a Japanese anime show. It felt like it was like a Western
Western anime. Pretty much on some Korra shit.
Yeah. It really felt different. It really felt like I was like, I don't want to watch like typical anime.
And you know what the characters, the character designs remind me of Boondocks. I know that's random, but it really reminds me of Boondocks, which I love. Like, I love it. I think it is an anime. Like, it definitely, like, when I think it's definitely like a Japanese anime, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just brought over here. But I think they added in a lot of things that make it feel a little bit more westernized. And I love it when, like, we get Americans get a chance to make anime, you know what I mean? Because we get to try something different, you know. And if this show shows like people that Western people can at least have an attempt on making anime, I would love to see more of that. Like, I would love to see like this show blow up and like Adult Swim picking up more Western. It doesn't have to be Western anime, but just more anime that feel westernized, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? I think yeah, the show is really good, man.
Another anime show that made me feel that way was the show that we watched, Super Crooks.
Yeah, Super Crooks as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
It gave me the same vibes.
My hero is like kind of based on Western superheroes, and it still feels like an anime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like the opposite take, pretty much. We have 10 more weeks of the show, so I'm super excited just to see where it heads. Just based off like the first episodes, what would you? I wouldn't say what would you rank the show, but like, what would you? So we have like amazing, we have good, we have average and trash. Like, where would you put it in that like ranking?
I would say the first 2 episodes got me really hooked. I would say it's like in between amazing and average.
I think
I just need a little bit more context of what's going on a little bit before I put it in that amazing category.
Yeah, because I think at the same time the story is pretty generic, but like that's the thing, when stories are generic, it relies on other things to be great, like the action, the animation, the characters, you know what I'm saying? So if all of those are up to par, this has the potential to be one of the best, you feel me? In my opinion, like, the action was fucking crazy. Like, the animation looks amazing. Like, bro, when I was watching it, when I watched the first episode, I was almost like, bro, if I made a show, I would want it to look like this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly.
The music was good too.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually like the opening feels so fucking anime. Like, it's so funny. It just feels so anime. I loved it. Like, it feels like they're paying homage to anime. You know what I mean? Even though it's an anime. I really fuck with it a lot. If you haven't watched the show, you're fucking sleeping. Like, this shit is hard as fuck. Like, yeah, I think like I said, we have 10 more weeks of it. I think it definitely has the potential, and with the first 2 episodes, I'm super invested. I think it has the potential to be one of the best shows on Adult Swim. Like, definitely. Like you said, we need a couple more episodes, because I don't know, based on what we've seen so far in the story, I'm not sure if there's like, will there be a season 2, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, like, is he gonna be able to defeat the clan at the end of the season? Like, we really don't know. But yeah.
I feel like it's so good to the point where it feels like it's a 10-minute show versus a 23-minute show.
So fast, bro. So fast.
I'm like, yo, what's gonna be done is like, it has been 23 minutes. So like,
that's what I hate. I don't want to say it's a con for the show, but it's just like, that's it, bro. Like, cause like I feel like every show we watch is at least like 45, or like you know what I'm saying. At least I would have loved this show to be at least 45 minutes long. Like, I would have loved each episode to be like around an hour or something like that. excited though. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes
Brilliance.